Hello, everybody, and welcome to my proving grounds, or another wonderful episode of Informal IT. As you can see, I got my boilerplate up, and I'm going to talk about a few things as I go along. I'll just be building this page up mostly so that way I can get my thoughts together. So, first, let's see. What have I been doing lately? I have been experimenting. I got a new certification using Oracle Cloud. I jumped into that mostly because I was curious about the free tier, and I've been doing some experimentation. And let me get my thoughts together here, but when I'm saying experimentation, what I mean is I wanted to get some practice with software-defined networking, and you can do that with a cloud account. And since I have a free tier, I was going to use the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and what they call a network created within their cloud would be a virtual cloud network. And from there, I'll probably be building some other things. But first, let's see. What am I going to do here? Start with something simple. Static graphics, something that might just actually entertain me at least a little bit. Let's see here. Let's refresh this. Let's see. Aha, there you go. That will start us off. Now, when you go into Oracle's cloud infrastructure, you're going to have to create an account, and then you're going to have to create a tenancy. So that's basically, uh, think about it as in like the main identifier. You could probably create other tenancies, most likely, but you're going to need a different email address, so forth. You can read the FAQ, but aside from that, your dashboard is pretty straightforward and simple. You got a couple of builds right here. You can create a VM instance, uh, databases, set up your, you have your network wizard over here. These are pretty much just wizards tutorials. They'll help you actually build some of these things. Recently created, what I actually recently created was a compartment. And if I go to this hamburger over here, it's like what we're going to do is we're going to go to, I believe, identity and security. And you see you're going to select compartments here. Now, if your tenancy will create your root compartment, you don't want to actually just build everything right there. Just like when you're actually setting up a bare metal Linux machine, you don't want to have everything running off of your root admin account. Same concept here. So I created another container or compartment, not a container. It's the subdivision which I'm working in here. And as my description, this is where I want to do some cloud-based experiments. And from here, I'm prepared to actually start creating things. And from there, yeah, I know I need some time in order to get my head together. It's been a while since I've done this stuff. But I started with creating the compartment first. And then the strategy is from there, I'm going to build my VCN, my network. And there, I'll start building my compute or virtual machine instances. So that's the logic. Before I go too far off the deep end, just a quick recap. When you're going to get into the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure to access their free tier, one, you need to create the account. Then you need to set up MFA. You'll have some kind of app that you're going to run off your phone in order to allow you. Otherwise, you can't even get in. Once you're there, you're gonna be on the home screen, and you're gonna have your recently viewed here. Basically, the contain the compartment that I was talking about is listed there, and this is what I focused on first on setting up for the basic premise that this is where everything is going to reside unless I choose to nest it with another compartment within it. Now, if I go over here, I probably can, but let's go to the hamburger here. Go back again to identity security. Go back to compartments. I have my root and I have the one that I created before. If I want to create another compartment, just click here. I have to give it a name and a description. And then I, the parent. Everything, the root is always the parent, but you can also select the other compartment and then cr just create another compartment within it. That's pretty good if you actually got several projects and you just want your first compartment to just be kind of like the staging area or like your base environment. I'm going to exit out of this because I don't really want to create another one at the moment. So I'm going to just cancel out of that. The next thing that I was working on was actually trying to set up a network. And in this environment, they call it a VCN, standing for Virtual Cloud Network. When you create it, you're gonna give it a name. You're gonna set up your DNS label, domain name, resolvers, also your public and private subnets. From what I understand, you don't necessarily have to create a private subnet, but you definitely need a public subnet if you want this thing to be accessible to the general internet, either as a server to send things out, or if you wanted to create some kind of workstation where you can log into it. We will take a look at that in a moment. But for that, you would have to come over here and then go to networking, and then you would go to virtual cloud networks. And when you get here, you got two options. You can just create your VCN. If you already know what you're doing, you can pick what you want. It's going to look like this. You'll give it a name. You're going to pick the compartment that the network is going to be in. And then you got to set up your IPv4 CIDR blocks. You can also set up IPv6. I don't have anything set up here. That's fine. DNS label, same thing. Your basic domain name is going to be dnslabel.oraclevcn.com. So whatever network or or environment that you want for your domain, you'll set it up here. You can also set up tags, and then you also got to show security. There's nothing set up at the moment. You can also hide your tags. That's fine. I'm going to cancel out of that. You could also go to your wizard. And here, your basic setup is this. If you have a hybrid environment where you already have a network at home or in your office, depending on how you want to do things, you can set it up this way with this wizard in order so that way you have a database in the cloud and one on-prem, and you set up your gateway to access between the two of them. Actually, it's not even a gateway, it's a VPN. Got to keep that in mind. I'm not about to start that, but this is just to give you a general idea. And from here, I'm trying to think of what other things I can think of that might prove helpful to you. And when I say to you, I generally mean to me. But this is the gist of where I'm at. Well, from here I'll just backtrack. Once you create your compartment, your next step is just going to be to create your network, your VCN. And the easiest way is just to go to the corner, click on that little hamburger, you know, those three little lines. And when you see the options, you're going to select networking and then click on virtual cloud networks. Once you're there, you got two ways. As I already showed you, you can either just click on create your VCN, and then from there, just fill out the information and whatever other details you feel are necessary in order to make it happen. Or you can just do the shortcut. As I did with this one, I selected the option where I had a public subnet and I have access to the internet through this setup. I don't have any equipment on-prem that I want to connect into a hybrid environment. Maybe someday later I will, once I get most of my bare metal machines to actually behave together and comply, so that way I can actually see what I can do in a homemade hybrid environment. But for now, this is where I'm at. My next couple of steps are going to be working on creating two different compute instances. I'll get to that later, but uh, we'll you're aware now of what my plans are, and hopefully this little mad scientist here will just inspire me to go a little further. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight. Everybody, take care.